My name is Lea Bamberger. I am the Director of Sustainability for the City of Providence. And I have reviewed this plan. Many of my colleagues in City Hall have reviewed the plan, and the administration shares your concerns with the proposal, particularly in light of the recently released climate justice plan. So I have copies of that plan on the table. This plan was created in collaboration with the Racial and Environmental Justice Committee of Providence, and it sets a clear vision for the city to move forward towards a zero emissions industrial waterfront and a just transition of this space to move us away from fossil fuels, away from polluting facilities, and towards a cleaner economy that supports good jobs for the people of Providence. So there's been a lot of questions about the process, and I am not part of the planning department, but I do have an overview of the process. I also brought some handouts on the back table. One of them looks like this, and this document is steps for approval of major land development projects. So this is considered a major land development process. This document over there explains exactly what that process looks like, and I also printed out information that's also on our website. This is also information from our website. This is about the City Plan Commission, their duties and responsibilities, who's on it, and contact information. If I can't answer any questions, I'll take down them and make sure we get back to you and follow up. So as I mentioned, this is considered a land development project. The City Plan Commission, or CPC, reviews and approves or denies or approves with conditions all of these land development projects. There are two stages. First is the master plan stage, and then there's the preliminary plan stage. So with the master plan approval, and that is the meeting that is scheduled for January 22nd, the city by law has 90 days once we receive the application to review it and present action. So that could be approved, deny, or approve with conditions. And if approved at the master plan stage, essentially the project is vested, meaning there's a clear path to approval. At the next stage, the developer must present and have in hand all state approvals. So as was mentioned before, DEM plays a really important role. That's the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management. There are, also previously mentioned by Councilman Anthony, while we have this fantastic climate justice plan, the recommendations and the policies and the vision in that plan are not yet law. That plan was just released a couple months ago. The rules on the books do not reflect the plan and the vision that has been set forth already. Currently, the Planning Commission has 5 criteria at which they legally are able to evaluate the project. Those 5 criteria are: is it consistent with the zoning? It is. Is it consistent with the city's comprehensive plan? It pretty much is. Does it have street access? It does. Is it a buildable lot? It is. And does it meet environmental regulations? If the project can prove that it meets all state and local environmental regulations, the city legally has very little ground to stand on to deny the project. So, as I mentioned, the city shares your concerns. This project is not in alignment with the climate justice plan, and we are going to do everything we can to hold this project accountable and to the highest standards. We know the project will increase traffic. That's in the proposal, 188 trucks per day. It will bring more diesel trucks to a neighborhood with some of the highest asthma rates in the state. I think we all know that now. And we have questions about how the developer intends to manage this. Where will queuing take place? Are these trucks going to be idling on the roads? What are the hours of operations? The Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management application mentions a 24-hour facility, while the city's application, or the application to the city, suggests it will just be 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. One lever we do have as a city is to request a traffic study. We intend to do that. We want to really push them to show how what the true impacts of traffic will be in a very comprehensive manner. The application is also unclear about what waste streams it will be processing and where that waste will be coming from. It suggests that it will process municipal solid waste. However, all municipal solid waste in Rhode Island must be processed by Rhode Island Resource Recovery and go to this facility in Johnston. So clearly that any municipal solid waste being processed by that facility will be coming from out of state.
No way.
We also plan to work closely with our partners at the state, DEM in particular, to ensure this development satisfies all state environmental regulations. As I mentioned, these state permits are a requirement for the city's process. Lastly, and truly lastly, as a last resort, should the developer meet all requirements for approval, and if this facility is to be built, we are going to do everything we can to make sure this is a state-of-the-art facility that addresses our concerns, your concerns, minimizes the negative impact, especially on the surrounding environmental justice communities.
That's depressing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Besides the company.
Are there any questions?
Do you have any other history with something similar to this that was opposed that didn't go in? Is there anything in your wheelhouse, anything that you remember?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that there's all these other offenders on Allen's Avenue that go in and then we can't get them out, that doesn't have anything to do with the decision of the planning department. Like, we let this guy go in, now we can't get him out, and when the AG is suing them. I'm afraid that if they go in, we're going to end up in court with them.
Look, I would say we have a great vision here. A lot of community members spend a lot of time, including a number of folks here in this room, Monica Huertas being one of them, to create this plan. We need to continue to work forward and move this plan forward in implementation. We do need better tools and resources on the books to address these sorts of concerns. And this is great momentum, and I would encourage folks to reach out to me, to Monica, to my colleague Court, if you want to be a part of that process and further develop policies to address these issues. Questions?
I have a question about, two questions. One is there a possibility of rezoning to a degree?
Rezoning is a possibility, and in fact, one of the strategies in the plan is, in the community health section, is to explore zoning and land use policy changes to reduce pollution and improve community health in the Port area. A zoning change at this point would not affect this process because it's already been initiated.
Okay, the other one was like, what's the plan for accountability? Because it seems like it's really hard to hold them accountable, and it takes too long. So is there a plan for that?
That's a great question. So DEM would be the official permitting agency, so they would be responsible for holding them accountable. We have seen some encouraging shifts at DEM. They're trying to do a lot more on enforcement. They are very hamstrung by a lack of funding and resources. That's a major challenge. But they are paying a lot of attention to the port and also the Attorney General's office.
A couple of things. One of my biggest concerns as I hear this is that we know that the recycling market is changing, that China is no longer taking large amount of our recyclables. Is this being factored in their plan?
This is not a recycling facility.
They're not sending any.
It's a transfer station for waste.
They're taking garbage and moving it to another place by train. Yeah, it's a transfer.
So you just said that the planning committee meeting, if we all show up, right, they're going to ask those
Excuse me, the meeting's still going if people have questions.
So they're going to ask those questions and the answers will be yes to all 5 of those questions. Is there any piece to that meeting that is where the public can speak, or is it more a show of force?
It is absolutely, I would encourage folks to go. It is an open public meeting, and it is important to show what the community is
But the question is, will the public be speaking?
I will
Will the
confirm.
public be speaking, yes or no?
I don't have that information offhand. It is often left to the chair. Can you?
Yeah, I can help you. So the CPC does have to, you can go in and they will take public testimony. And I have found that, while, yes, they probably eventually may check all the boxes, they will be probably very receptive to a huge room of people coming in, and they're going to want to make sure that they are looking for the extra studies and that everybody can sign up to testify. You will be heard. I found that it really is effective if you walk in with a lot of people.
I think if the times, the dates, the times, and the places should be written right now on the blackboard.
Yeah.
There's no chalk. Great idea.
January 21st.
First.
Is the first
Write it down.
Westminster now?
Monica, would you like to, I would love for folks to have a chance to hear from you as well. And especially as so Monica will be working to help start, in the plan, one of the action items is a green justice zone, which is specific to this neighborhood, and will be helping develop these policies and implement the climate justice plan.